The first Women's Equality Day was celebrated in August 26, 1973, and it marked the first time in history that women in America were guaranteed the right to vote. Patriarchy is sometimes just a name, a phrase, a stereotype, a conditioning that people follow throughout their lives. It is like a metaphorical cage that constricts everyone in the society, not just women. And we all should work together to move forward against patriarchy. Women have got more opportunities and have become more visible in the society when compared to the past. Almata, would you like to add on to how visible women have become compared to the past?
Women's representation in politics has doubled since the last 25 years, but only 1 in 4 of the seats are taken by women, are held by women. These are just not just this. Even in India alone, 65% of Indian men think that women should endure like violence to keep their family together. Some even think that they deserve to be beaten. And so here I would like to suggest that the reason men think this in our culture itself is because of how we're taught since birth, how we're raised from a young age. So patriarchy still exists.
Politics is a huge deal, and being half the population, of course, women need representation. Well, Abhilash, would you like to add on to this?
These are like the mental issues that are like increasing or has increased over the years, especially amongst women. And a main contributor to this would be the perpetual misogynist and patriarchal stereotypes, and like pop culture and like our obsolete education system has like reinforced these sexist stereotypes, and like we've learned this, like seen it from our childhood, like Akhtar said. And so like the main question we need to ask ourselves is that, is India really taking a 1 step forward and like a 2 step backward approach? And also like when it comes to the liberation of women, there's like clearly a flaw in the system.
Gayatri, would you like to add anything on that?
Actually, I would like to talk about something else, which is a common question asked by most of the people. That is, are women really the weaker sex? So the question can be answered in multiple perspectives. So yes, biologically, women are not as muscular, nor are they do they have the same physique like men, but that doesn't make them weak. Our society needs to be more educated about women's rights, because majority of the societal norms are formed due to culture and tradition, and culture is the root cause for generating gender-based jobs and roles. So it takes a lot of courage for women to go against that, and usually doing that is frowned upon. But now people are getting more courage, and it's important to spread awareness about what a woman can do, because she is not like she still doesn't know how capable she is. So,
Ashlyn, would you like to add on anything to this?
Definitely. See, around for every 1,000 cases that we have, only 995 of the assailants don't serve justice at all. Like they don't get the jail time at all. They're not punished. Neither are they put forward in front of the public to be shown for what disrespect and trauma they've caused to women, that is rape and stuff. So in India especially, there's often this thing that promotes rape culture, and that is victim blaming. So why does this victim blaming happen? So one of the main reasons is there's few women police or female policemen. So this leads to women being less comfortable with going and talking to the policemen about it, and thus they keep quiet about it. And another thing is, the society tends to blame it on proactive clothing. The thing is, rape has been happening for so long. It's been happening even when people used to cover up themselves so much. Rape has nothing to do with the clothing. Instead, it has to do with the rapists. And on top of that, the most frequent cases happen to kids ranging from 12 to adults over 34 years old. And 90% of the rape victims are women. So why does this culture of blaming the victim happen? why do women have to be blamed for being raped? And that has been going on for so long that it's honestly distressing, because the main reason why people believe that women shouldn't go out and talk about it is because of honor. They value honor over life. And that leads to what we've mostly heard about, that is honor killings, where people believe that a raped woman doesn't deserve to live and rather should sacrifice her life for the sake of her family's honor, which is honestly very distressing and sad. So I believe that the first step we should take towards this is to educate people that it is never a victim's fault, and it is never going to be, or never has been a victim's fault. And as women, we should all support each other and stand by it, because it's sad to see that even women are conditioned to believe that it is their fault for being raped.
On this topic, are there any other causes, any other reasons that cause oppression of women in our society? Rishabh, what do you have to say?
There's actually a book called Ready Player One, and although it's a fictional story, I think we can take an example from it. So in the book, there's a character named H, and so throughout the whole book, you think that it's a guy, it's like this manly person, and then at the end of the book, you find out that it's actually a black female, and she had changed her identity online because like when her account was created in that, like she believed that she wouldn't get any opportunities in life if she had been a black woman. So yeah, this is like not acceptable in society, and we should definitely change it.
Nidhi, would you like to add on to this?
Yes, sure. So I found that the other dominant reasons for gender stereotyping and discrimination in rural as well as urban areas, they include lack of education and job opportunities. So another important determinant of gender inequality is the mindsets of people, the kind of people that live in a particular type of society. So from what I've come across, women in rural areas go unrecognized for the effort they take to manage domestic responsibilities as well as the jobs that they're paid for. So in most rural communities, a girl child is looked at as a liability, and marriage is seen as their sole purpose for existence. Whereas in the case of boys, they're given more opportunities to develop both academically and mentally towards achieving whatever they aspire to be. And when we compare the situation of families in urban and rural households, we notice that there are slightly more occurrences of violence and discriminatory treatment in a rural setting as opposed to an urban one. But this doesn't totally rule out the problems faced by women living in urban areas. So this just implies that greater access to services, opportunities, and infrastructure does not ensure a secure job or equal wages to women.
Now, what is the way forward from here? How can we move forward to the goal of equality in the society? Kripa?
1 in every 3 women have faced some sort of sexual or any sort of violence, any sort of abuse against them. And I believe, and most of these abuses, like women have confessed that it's usually the abuses of someone they know. And a lot of times this happens because men and women equally are not educated on topics such as consent. So I believe that exposure and educating oneself and each other on topics such as consent and gender equality is very important. But
Amrita, would you like to add anything to this?
Yeah, Me Too movement was a thing about education, and like we stated before, education is so important, and I think it begins with homes. In homes, we're generally normalizing gender discrimination. When a family is financially unstable, they prefer to send the boy child for education because women aren't anyway going to end up marrying someone. That's the gender mindset. And I think that's where it starts. And talking about gender inequality, by definition, gender inequality means favoring one sex over the other. And I think it goes both ways, favoring men over women and favoring women over men.
Patriarchy comes with gender roles, with expectations from men on how they are supposed to be, expectations from women on how they are supposed to be, which really constricts our ability to express in the society without being shamed, criticized, or judged for it. So, overall, we have seen that we have come a really long way from how it was, but it is still a fight we have to fight. Each one of us, all of us in the society, male, female, it doesn't matter. It's all of our fight. Because eventually, equality is only going to bring all of us together, all of us for a better future, for us and the future generations.